Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me. This is Tracy, this is my craft space. And first we have on this first left-hand wall, I took a sewing machine thread bobbin thread holder and mounted it on the wall for all of my twine, my purple tape, and both widths of course. And it works out really well for even the small twines that I get from Paper Pumpkin. And then below I keep all my pens in a vintage popsicle container and a vintage like salesman sample thing. Then this is a stand-up bathroom tower, and in the first drawer I keep all of my extra blades where for all of my cutting boards, silicone craft mat, blades for my memory keeper board, extra rolls of tape, blades for my craft knife. So pretty much all replacement blades go in the top drawer. The next drawer is where all of my cutting plates and magnetic plates go for all of my die cutting machines. So this is the die cutting machine drawer. All of those plates for sandwiches, for my Gemini Junior, for my Stampin' Cut, Stampin' Emboss from Stampin' Up, and even my Spellbinders embossing mat, and even my trusty Cuddle Bug that I've had all these years. So I keep all of those together, and it fits right there in that wicker drawer. The next drawer is a little messy, but it's my favorite drawer. It's the glue drawer. Everything glue oriented goes in this drawer. So you've got glue dots, you've got dimensionals, you've got scotch tape, you've got more glue dots, you've got the straight adhesive, foam adhesive strips, you've got adhesive runners like the Gina K one, temporary adhesive runners that I use to just temporarily hold things in place. Tombow glue, I think you'll see in there, some scotch tape, many dimensionals, I think is right there. So it's all crammed in there, folks, but it's definitely, there's my Tombow multi-adhesive glue, and it just, I love glue. I love tear tape. There's all my tear tape and all the different widths, and it's definitely one of my favorite drawers. Container behind here which holds my trusty label maker. This is the one Jennifer McGuire uses. I'm not sure where she purchased hers. I bought mine at the Container Store. I'll link below in the comments where you can get one on Amazon, as well as the refills, and man, I love this thing. I label everything. So, and there's my trusty refills. And I'll even link to the refills that I use that are less expensive than the Brother P-Touch ones. You can get 4 for the price of one Brother actual one. Then of course my Score Pal. And I need to get into scrapbooking and do that scrapbook. Now this is my scrap rack, and as you can see it's rather full. I actually took 2 scrap racks and put them together and bound them together to make my scrap rack because I couldn't fit everything into one scrap rack. So you'll see all of my stamps, dies, die cuts, some Cricut items in there, you name it, some embellishments, stamps, some I haven't even used yet. 6x6 stamps go in there pretty nicely. Waffle flower items, stencils, Altenew stamp sets, even embellishments way at the back. So it's just a great tool, and it works for me to keep everything organized. Now this piece of furniture was the bottom of a kitchen hutch, like a china hutch. So in the top drawer, I keep quite a few things. I keep a Cricut Easy Press, and there's like 3 different drawers. So the Easy Press goes in the first one, and of course I keep baby wipes and my trusty microfiber cloths that I get at the dollar store. Then there was a dirty one I needed to put away. And then my Gemini Junior has its own little cubby, and I just love this thing. I use it all the time. So he has a little home of his own. And then in this third cubby, I keep my Cricut light. I call it a light bright. I'm not sure. I think it's called like a light pad. And then some markers. And usually this is where my Misty lives, and my We Are Memory Keepers guillotine cutter. I call him Eddie Jr. Because you'll see in a minute, in the bottom drawer, I have a serious obsession with paper cutters. I own about 6 paper trimmers. This first one, his name is Edward, like Edward Scissorhands. And he folds out. Let's see if we can get him out here on the floor. He folds out, and his name is Edward. So that's why the little one's called Eddie. And then of course I have these other Fisker ones for travel that have different size swing out arms. And I think one has the blade that just goes up and down like that. And then the other one has a rotary blade. And that's why I bought the other one. So they both serve different purposes. So again, I just have an issue with paper trimmers. And then my favorite Stampin' Up! One that scores and cuts at the same time, which is just amazing to me. I don't have to get a separate scoreboard out in order to score things and keep things in place, and love that guy. Then of course I have my We Are Memory Keepers that scores and cuts. And let's see, I've got a mini guillotine paper trimmer from Stampin' Up! And these are my acrylic blocks from Stampin' Up! This is the entire set, and they're so great. They've got a nice comfort grip, and I keep them in a nice case so that I don't lose them. And then the scrub and chamois for scrubbing all of my stamps clean after I use and abuse them. Keep those stamps looking like new. And then I have a large Cricut Easy Press. And then this box right here is all of the extra pegboard tools that you'll see on my pegboard in just a minute. And then of course some contact paper, because it's a lot less expensive than the Cricut transfer paper that you'll find. So this is the big pegboard that I have in my craft room. It holds all of my my mats for my Cricut. It holds my rulers. It holds pictures. It holds brayers. It holds stamps. It holds lint rollers, rotary cutters. It holds the My Sweet Petunia cutter for sentiments, the Lawn Fawn ruler, some notes. That paper is this next piece of furniture. I keep all my bits and bobs, glue, glitter, ink refillers, everything like that. Next, you see I have this large Cricut type desk. I keep my maker on top, and I also open it up and have all of my colored cardstock all nicely organized. If you'd like, I'll link in the description below my video on how I organized all of it. And it was a labor of love, of course, but they're all by color family and by theme. So that's the top drawer. And it's, I think it came out of a lawyer's office. I've got my washi tape collection, my stamps of life, and then of course my Nina cardstock, black, white, thick cardstock, things like that. Some pictures that I need to scrapbook, and that's that for that large piece of furniture. I've got some new things that I need to put away. And of course, then up here I've got an upper shelving unit. These are utilitarian shelves that I got from Lowe's. They're kind of like the Alpha shelving system where you have the brackets and you click them in. So I keep everything from my die cut machines, stamps, papers. There's Old Faithful Crick Cuttlebug. And so obviously I keep a reference notebook handy, and all of my close to my heart items, all of my Stampin' Up items. My table, it's a vintage table, it's a drop leaf table. It's nothing fancy to look at, but it has these wonderful drop leaves that pop up when I need a bigger space and go down when I need to be able to walk around and clean up the table. I have it covered with just a quilting, big cutting, self-healing mat. And so it really, then I keep my inks over here in a Deborah Totally Tiffany bag. These are all of my Stampin' Up inks, all in my color family, in the Sue Totally Tiffany bags. And then the one on top is all my black inks and pigment inks. And then on this wall I've got the easy carry and go when I go crafting. I keep all my old catalogs for card idea inspiration. So that's where those go. And then I keep just some odds and ends on top here, and then a bucket with my cross stitching stuff for stitching on paper. And then this is kind of, every office has a junk bin. This is kind of my junk bin, but I do keep my blender brushes and things with my things that kind of go with my stencils. My stencils are all down here in my Totally Tiffany cart, and for some reason they've just stuck there, and that's where they've all landed. So then this is the wall of vinyl. I use the IKEA trash bags and mounted them all and put all my vinyl in all the different holes, and I just love it. It keeps it all where I can see it. It keeps it nice and neat and rolled up, and it was really easy to install. I think it needs to just be popped back in, but it's just 2 screws that you hang on the wall. So really easy to install. I'll link those in the description below as well. And I'm gonna fuss with that there for a second. But really a fun project, and yes, it takes up a whole wall, but that's my craft room. So I hope you enjoyed the tour. I spend a lot of time in here, and it's my happy place. So thanks so much for watching. Hit that like button and subscribe if you'd like more content like this. And I'll link everything in the description below. And we'll see you again real soon. Thanks everyone. Take care.